Have you ever felt like you've gone too far to be forgiven? This story proves you're never too far gone. Have you ever felt so lost and so broken that you thought no one could ever forgive you? Have you ever wondered if there was a way back home, back to a place of love and safety, even after you had made the biggest mistakes? There is a story Jesus told, a beautiful story about a father and his two sons. It is a story that whispers a wonderful secret. You are never, ever too far gone. It all starts with a father who loved his children very, very much. He had two sons. He loved them with a never-stopping, never-giving-up, unbreaking, always and forever love. One day, the younger son came to his father. He did not want to wait. He wanted everything now. "Father," he said, his voice full of impatience, "give me my share of all your things, the part that will be mine one day." His father's heart must have broken into a million pieces, but the father did what his son asked. He divided everything he owned and gave the younger son his share. The son took the money and couldn't wait to leave, far away from his father and his home, and so he packed his bags. He was chasing after something he called freedom, a place with bright lights and endless parties. He didn't know that he was leaving the one thing he needed most, his father's love. He spent all his money on wild parties and fancy things. As long as he had money, everyone wanted to be near him. But a life built on fun and games doesn't last very long, and soon, all the money was gone. Just as his very last coin was spent, no rain fell from the sky. The ground grew hard and dry. Nothing would grow. There was no food anywhere. The young son, who once had everything, now had nothing. His pockets were empty. His stomach was empty. His new friends were nowhere to be found. They had disappeared just like his money. He was all alone, very, very hungry. He needed to work. He needed to find food. So he went to a man. The man sent him out into his fields to feed his pigs. Pigs! It was dirty and smelly work. He was so hungry that his stomach ached. He looked at the slop the pigs were eating, the yucky, mushy pods, and he wished he could eat it too, but no one gave him anything. As he sat there in the mud and the muck, a great sadness washed over him. He remembered his father's house, the smell of bread baking, the servants, enough food, warm beds, and kind words. He was lost and alone, a long, long way from home. Then something happened inside him. The Bible says he came to his senses. It was like waking up from a bad dream. He looked at his ragged clothes and his skinny arms. He felt the ache in his belly, and he thought, "What am I doing here? My father's servants have food to spare, and I am here dying of hunger." A tiny little spark of hope flickered in his heart. With that small bit of hope, he made a plan. He would get up. He would leave the pigs, the mud. He would walk the long road back to his father's house. He practiced what he would say. "Father," he would whisper, "I have sinned. I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy to be called your son anymore." He wouldn't ask for his old room back or nice clothes. He would just ask for a job. "Please," he would beg, "just make me like one of your hired servants." It was his only hope. And so he stood up, left the pigsty, turned his face toward home. Every step was hard. He was weak. He was tired. He was ashamed. With every footstep, he worried. What would his father say? Would he be angry? Would he shout at him? Would he turn him away? He had been a terrible son. He had wasted his father's money and broken his father's heart. He deserved nothing. The road felt long and dusty. His heart was heavy with fear and regret. But the story says something amazing. While the son was still a long, long way off, his father saw him. His father hadn't forgotten him, not for one single day. Every day the father had been watching, waiting, hoping. His eyes scanned the horizon. And then, one day, he saw him, a small, dirty, slow-moving figure. But the father knew it was his son. The father did something no important old man would ever do. He pulled up his robes. He ran. He didn't walk. He didn't wait. He ran down the road to meet his son. He ran right past the shame, past the dirt, past the failure.
Before the son could even say his practice speech, before he could even beg to be a servant, his father threw his arms around him. He hugged him tight and kissed him. The son started to say, "Father, I have sinned." But it was as if the father couldn't even hear the words.
All he could see was his son, who was lost, but now was found.
Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger, and put sandals on his feet. The father was not making his son a servant. He was making him a son again, in front of everyone. And bring the fattened calf and kill it. The fattened calf was saved for the most special celebration. It meant this was a huge party. Let's have a feast and celebrate. The father's joy could not be kept quiet. It had to be shared. It had to be sung. It had to be danced.
Meanwhile, the older son was out working. As he came near the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. "Your brother has come home." The older brother's face grew dark. He became angry, so angry that he wouldn't even go inside.
Look, all these years I've been slaving for you, you never gave me even a young goat. But when this son of yours, you kill the fattened calf for him.
The father said, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours." But we had to celebrate. Your brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. This story shows us that it doesn't matter how far you've strayed. Love is always waiting to run to you, welcome you home, and throw a party. No matter how far you've strayed, God's arms are always open.